to the podcast. I know it's been a while. I've been very busy. I pretty much have no time outside of work. In fact, literally like 3 or 4 days ago, I worked 13 hours straight. So yeah, I haven't had much time to do much of anything. I have ideas for episodes I want to do. Some of them involve a lot of research, and I don't have time for that. I'm off today, and I decided to do one real quick. Basically, I didn't know what to talk about. But there's things I've been wanting to do episodes about, but I can't really do a full episode on them because, well, there's times where I have ideas for episodes. I think, oh, I'm going to fill an hour and a half easily. And then when I say everything I want to say, I'm like, oh, it's only been half an hour. So I have to start making stuff up. Like, okay, let's slightly change the subject. So, I decided, like, these topics here, I didn't really have anything to say. Enough to fill an episode. So I decided, for this episode, it's just basically going to be random things. I mean, the tagline of the show is literally a random podcast about random things. And while yes, it has been about random things so far, I haven't done an episode about random things. So for this episode, I decided that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Alright, so I'm not going to do these in any particular order. I just kind of wrote them down as they came to mind. There's an app I have called Checklist, and it's basically that you make a list, and each item has a box. You just tap it when you're done talking. So the first thing I want to talk about is I got new glasses yesterday. And not just one pair, I got two. I had glasses before. They were the kind with no frames, and that's the kind I wanted. But they didn't have those. Back in June, I lost them, technically. I did lose them, but there was a story behind it. Where I work, we have to wear masks. And the mask caused the glasses to fog up. So what I would do when I would get to work, I would take the glasses off and hide them behind the jewel pod case, because that was a good place to hide them. Like no one, there's something covering both sides. You'd have to know it was there to find them. Well, somebody stole them. When I told the manager, she was like, "Who steals prescription glasses?" And I was like, "That's what I was saying. That's what I was thinking." And so she looked at the camera to try to see who did it, but unfortunately, it was one of the rare blind spots in that store. There was 27 cameras in that store. There was no blind spots. Most of the footage overlapped with, well, no, but it was one of the few places where you can't tell. Because everybody's there all day, you can't tell because I was watching the footage, and she even pulled up when I put the glasses there, and you couldn't even tell I was reaching behind it. So and everybody was there all day, so it's impossible to tell who stole them, which really sucked. So I've been going since June without glasses, and at first it was fine. I could still see, just everything's a little smaller and further away. But then over the last few months, it's been getting worse. There's the computer. I wonder what took so long. Anyway, kind of deteriorating. The last few months, where it was getting hard to see sometimes. Where if I was messaging someone on my phone and they messaged me, I'd have to squint and pull the phone forward and backwards and be like, I can't read your message. And it really affected my handwriting because I would, I have to write stuff down at work, things we need, I had to write down, okay, on the front we're missing this, this, and this. I need to write it down so I can go back and get it. It's usually like a list of 25 things or more that we need from like ice cream or cigarettes or something. I have to write them down, but I can't see what I'm writing. So I didn't think it was a problem. I know how to write, so I would write it down and hand it to my coworker, and she'd be like, "I can't read this," and I'm like, "I can't even see it." So hopefully now I'll be able to see what I write. I haven't actually tested that now that I think about it, but yeah, got new glasses. I actually, because I went to a place called America's Best, and they had this really cool thing I'd never even heard about. That you, okay, well first off, my insurance wouldn't cover it. I called, my insurance was like, "No, we won't cover that." Even though, like, my insurance says, they cover one eye exam a year, one pair of glasses a year, every 2 years, I think. I don't know. When I got my last pair, I had to fight them for 2 years to get the exam and the pair of glasses. So, yeah, when they said no, I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna deal with this. And it wasn't that big of a deal because at America's Best they have this special where you for $80 or $70, $70 or $80, you get a free eye exam and 2 frames. So I just paid for it out of pocket, no big deal. And I got 2 frames. One of them is a clear frame and the other one is a green frame. I wanted the no frames again, but they didn't have them. My previous pair before that pair was a pair. It was a Buddy Holly style, thick black frames, and they look like Buddy Holly glasses. And I liked them. I had them. I had them for 9 years. They were no longer my prescription. I had a headache when I wore them, and I had a headache when I didn't wear them, and I just wore them anyway. It's like, I'm gonna have a headache anyway. Might as well just wear them. And yeah, so when I got new frames, I decided no frames. Those are cooler. I didn't even realize how much that those frames were obscuring my vision, because I tried on the no framed ones, and it's like my vision opened up, and I was like, oh, those frames, those thick black frames were obscuring my vision. I didn't even notice. And these 2 pairs I got are kind of like that. They're thick plastic, but they're clear, so it's like not obscuring as much. I still notice them. It's kind of distracting, but not like the Buddy Holly ones were. I'm still not used to them. It's kind of disorienting. I can see, but it's disorienting because when I walked from the building to the car, I almost fell, and there wasn't even ice on the sidewalk at that part of the sidewalk. And so, like, my friend in the car, I guess, who saw me start to fall, and she was like, "You okay?" And I was like, this is kind of disorienting." So it's gonna. And then I posted about it on Facebook. I'm gonna post the selfie. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna post the selfies right now. I was gonna I dropped my phone, but I caught it by the cord. That's healthy for the phone. Yeah, I posted these 2 selfies that I took. I took a selfie with the clear ones and a selfie with the green ones. Posted them on Facebook and I even said that, like, hey, this I can see, but it's disorienting. And my mom commented and said, "You'll get used to it." So I hope so. A month later, it's even more disorienting. That would really suck. All right, here's the first picture, and let me see the second picture. Actually, hang on. I'm just going to copy and paste what I said on Facebook. Let me scroll down to it, and if I can find it really easily. There it is. Copy text. Paste. Okay, I was just going to copy and paste without editing, but I should probably edit the text. It says, "Just picked up my new frames." Yeah, no, it was more than now. It was like almost 24 hours ago. Okay, I have new friends. My predictive text changed glasses to friends. I have new glasses. Exclamation mark. I can see it's ... Actually a little disorienting. Tweet. Okay, now that's taken care of. Let me go back to the list and check that box. Check. And yeah. Okay, so the next topic I want to talk about is Rush Limbaugh. Okay, I am not a fan of him, really. Or wasn't a fan of him, I guess I should say. But I grew up, because I grew up in Texas, and my grandma listened to him every single morning, and I lived with my grandparents for a little bit. She listened to him every single morning, and then I'd hear him at the house, and I remember when he had his TV show, we watched it every day, and then when I moved out of my parents' house, I listened to Rush Limbaugh, Glenn Beck, Sean Hannity, Michael Savage. I listened to all of them this all day, and then so I was well aware of him, and I wasn't very well aware. Didn't really notice all of the racist, sexist things he would say all the time, because I grew up around that. That's just normal. It was the things he was saying. It was normal to me. And then about 10 years ago, like I was having had started meeting a bunch of people online, and started learning more about the world, and realized, wow, the things he says is kind of problematic, and along with a bunch of the other people I was listening to, and I just stopped listening. And yeah, so I got the news. I saw on Twitter this morning that Rush Limbaugh passed away, and I had kind of mixed emotions. I was like, I wasn't really sad, but it was like like I said, he was a part of my childhood growing up into adulthood, and I was, let's see, I was like 21 or 22 when I stopped listening to him. I'm 32 now. Had to stop and think about that. I'm 30 what now? That can't be right. But yeah, so like, I've seen a lot of people, like, there's the internet's devices, they either absolutely hate every single thing about him, or he was the greatest person who ever lived, and I'm kind of in the middle, like, not really, like, I don't like him at all, so I wasn't really sad that he passed away. I don't think he was a good person at all, but again, there was that kind of nostalgic value. You know, I've always loved his voice. He had a great voice, but my opinion, he wasted it by things he said, because yeah, he wasn't too good. Wasn't that great of a person. But I'm not sad that he passed away, and I'm not celebrating. I don't celebrate when someone dies. It's really messed up when people do that. I see that all the time, where someone unpopular or controversial passes away, and a part of the internet that doesn't like him celebrates. Like, biggest example was Bin Laden. When they killed Bin Laden, the internet celebrated. No, he's dead. And I'm like, really? You're gonna celebrate a death? Oh, he was a monster. Oh, I'm not denying that. But he didn't even get a trial. They went in and killed him. Oh, well, he didn't deserve it. Really? We have the most horrible serial killers imaginable. They get trials. Heck, sometimes, like, all the evidence is against them, and they get mistrials. Like, or they get found not guilty or something. And they get trials. And I'm saying, Bin Laden, as horrible as a person that he was, he should have gotten at least a trial. But yeah, that's my opinion. Like, I don't celebrate when someone dies. I don't wish death on anyone. Even if I don't like them at all. Like, I don't want them to die. I just want them to, go over there and, like, leave me alone. Leave us alone. Live their own life, not bothering anybody, and all of that. Alright, checking that box. Okay, so since we're talking about that sort of thing, the very first thing I listed is I was going to do a whole episode on this topic, but every time I talk about this online, I even did a TikTok video about it, I get criticized and told I don't know what I'm talking about and blah 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 blah. So I decided not to do an episode. I will talk about it though. Minimum wage. And I just lost everyone. Okay, so the things that in the TikTok video I did, I was going around the store we got a new sheet of price stickers to put on the shelves, and I noticed that all the prices were going up, and so I did a video and I said, actually I'm just gonna play it here and then I'll put the link in the show notes. I don't think do I have my... I don't have my volume turned up, that's the problem. Here we go.
They say if we raise minimum wage, the price of everything will go up.
It's showing a price sticker for Keebler Frosted Animals. It's $1.49.
Well, I hate to break it to you.
I put a new sticker on it that says $1.69. Someone actually did one of those splice video things where you can respond to a video and add to it, and this guy come on and says, well, see, you don't know what you're talking about, because if we raise minimum wage, things won't go up by just 5 cents. I'll go up by $20. Really? Okay, so basically minimum wage hasn't changed since 2009, which is actually the longest it's ever been without changing. And actually there's a couple screenshots that I saw. I'm going to find them because I have them right here somewhere. I know I do, somewhere. Scrolling up, I think I scrolled too far down. Oh no, where is it? I know I have them. When was this? That was too far. Where was it? Because I sent them to somebody, and I know she and I didn't talk that far back. I'll just do a search. Almost said her name. There it is. Okay, so I did a little research for this. Original minimum wage, according to this search on it's historynewsnetwork.org. And I also looked at other places to back it up, and this is true. It was first introduced in the United States with the Fair Labor Standards Act of 1938. Passed under President Roosevelt, this act called for the first national minimum wage of 25 cents an hour. This created a floor on wages on the labor market and overall helped to create fairer labor standards throughout the country. Okay, the first minimum wage was in 1938, and it was 25 cents an hour, which doesn't sound like a lot, but you can remember 1938. So I was curious. So I looked up the inflation calendar, inflation calculator, and 25 cents in 1938 in 2021 is $18.55. So it doesn't seem like a lot, but they're saying people are wanting a $15 an hour minimum wage. That's still under the inflation amount of the original minimum wage. And something that I also said this in another, and I said this on Facebook, and I ended up having to delete the post because it got so heated. I was like, this is too much drama. I don't want this on my page. I said, if things go up, if things are already going up, like I said. Actually, before I get to the thing I said that was controversial, I'm gonna say this. In 2009, I moved into my first apartment. It was a really nice apartment complex. It was $400 a month. By the time I moved in 2014, it was $650 a month. And that same apartment now in 2021 is $950 a month. 12 years ago, that same apartment was like $500 less than it is now. I had to think about that. Yeah, and guess what? Minimum wage has stayed the same that entire time. I can also buy less at the store than I could before. Because I would go to the store with $20 and get like a week's worth of groceries, and now I can only get same store. It's the same store as it was back then, and $20 isn't. I can get like one bag of groceries, two maybe sometimes. And before I would have to get a ride home. It's like, hey, I bought too much stuff. Can I get a ride? How much did you spend? $20. Oh, wow. So, okay. So the thing oh yeah, and I have a friend that works at McDonald's, and she pointed something out. You remember the dollar menu? It was created like 20 years ago. It was the dollar menu. Everything on the dollar menu was $1. And actually, let me go back to what my friend said. My friend who works at McDonald's. I don't really go there anymore. I can't even afford it. All right. Where did she say? Oh, okay. That was a private message. And I guess what we were when she said what she said was in a public comment, and I will never find it. Basically, the cheapest thing on the dollar menu is $2.50. There's no dollar menu. It's called the dollar menu, but it's no longer the dollar menu. So even the dollar menu is going up. So okay, now to the thing that I said that was so controversial, I had to delete the post because fighting broke out in the comments. Basically, if things go up because minimum wage goes up, so what? That's normal. Okay, think about, there's a picture I saw of the McDonald's menu. Actually, I'm gonna look this up. Or wait, McDonald's menu 1958. Oh, okay. I thought it was 60s, but hey. Okay, here it is. McDonald's menu. Let's see, Filet-O-Fish. Oh, okay, the quarter pounder with cheese was 70 cents. Quarter pounder without cheese was 60 cents. The Big Mac was 65 cents. Filet-O-Fish was 48 cents. Well, okay, let me look at the most expensive thing on the menu. Okay, it looks like I already said it. The most expensive thing on this menu was the quarter pounder with cheese, which was 70 cents. That's 1958. Wait, I think. Let me see. Doesn't say the year, but I did search McDonald's menu 1958. Point is, even if it was the 60s, that's still really cheap. Now, okay, let me look at the McDonald's menu 2021. Okay, there's a lot more things on here. Let's see. Oh, first thing I noticed is there's no prices on here. Because of course there's not. Oh, actually, you know what? Better idea. Do I have... I think I have the McDonald's app. I do. I don't remember why I have it, but I remember downloading it. Let me look at... Oh, gotta... Nope, no. So... signing in. Welcome back. Alright, let's see. Order. Let me look at the menu here. It's loading. Okay, my main thing that I get the double quarter pounder with cheese. The most expensive thing on that old menu was the quarter pounder with cheese, which was 70 cents. Let me look. 1, 4 pounder. Let me see. Search 0 results. Okay, better idea. Hey Google, how much is the quarter pounder with cheese?
Here is information from NDTV Food.
Quarter pounder with cheese is $3.79. Quarter pounder with cheese meal is $5.79. That wasn't on there either. Okay, here's I guess here's the menu, the list of the menu. I think. Where was it? It said on the list the prices. Now it's not showing them anymore. Yeah, okay. Hey Google, how much is a Big Mac?
Here is information from fast food menu prices.
Okay, on the 1958 menu, it was, I think, 30 cents. Now it's $3.99. Okay, my great aunt is in her 90s. She remembers when you could buy a meal and see a movie and buy a Coke for like 50 cents, and that might be too much. She remembers when gas was a quarter. She remembers all this stuff from like almost 100 years ago. That the prices were like really little. For like, if you had $1, you could like buy out McDonald's, basically, buy out Walmart and Kroger and all these other stores. But now you have $1, I'm broke. Heck, you have $20, you're broke. So my point is, if prices go up, that's what they're supposed to do, or at least that's what they normally do. Preferably they stay the same, and that's what everyone wants. And oh no, the prices are going up. In fact, heck, at the store I work at, bag of ice went up 5 cents, and customers were freaking out. Like, you're trying to rip me off. Like, no, the prices went up last week. Oh, I'm not paying that. It's literally 5 cents more, which I know for some people that's a lot, but yeah, that's gonna happen. Prices go up, whether the minimum wage goes up or not. The only difference is that the people on minimum wage can afford less and less, because minimum wage stays the same while everything goes up. I'm making more than minimum wage, and I'm still scraping by. I remember working minimum wage, and yeah, like I literally needed help with rent every month, and I always needed help with food because I couldn't afford anything. My weekly paycheck working full time was like $188, which, yeah, it was ridiculous. I could barely afford anything. And so, yeah, me posting about that on Facebook, yeah, like it caused a huge fight in the comments, and I got fed up and just deleted it. I was like, screw this. So that's what that one was about. I went from Rush Limbaugh to minimum wage. Alright, let me go back to the list. Let's see, that's marked off 3 items on here. Okay, so I tweeted the other day that about having trouble coming up with anything. I know what I want to talk about, but I don't have the energy to research it. And I said all I've been doing is watching Saturday Night Live and Golden Girls, and I think it was A Few Bad Apples. I don't want to misquote somebody or like misattribute it to somebody else, so I'm gonna go to my profile and. All right, let's see. It was A Few Bad Apples. She said, "Do an episode on the Golden Girls." So I posted a GIF. I responded with a GIF of Sophie. Picture this, and she said yes. So yeah, I am going to talk about the Golden Girls, which is one of my favorite shows. I'm on season 10. I mean, no, there's not even 10 seasons. Episode 2, season... Crap. I'm doing it again. Episode... Season... 210. Season 2, episode 10. And... see, I've always wanted to watch the show. I just never had a way to. And then they added it to Hulu. years ago, and I'm finally getting into it. One of my best friends growing up, he was obsessed with Golden Girls. He still is. Like I'll send him quotes that I've come across, and I'll send the quote and he'll be like, "Oh, I love that episode. That's the one where da 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 da." And I'm like, "Yes." And so, like, I'm finally watching Golden Girls, and it is. I can't go over how hilarious it is. It's not much for me to say about it. I might actually do a full episode on Golden Girls once I finish it, because there are 7 seasons and an unofficial 8th season, which it's not officially a season. The show ended, and there's a spin-off featuring all 4 of them minus Dorothy, called Golden Palace, and I don't see that anywhere. I don't see it listed anywhere, but I want to watch that because it's fans consider it the unofficial 8th season. And then there was other spin-offs I heard, like the neighbors, their neighbors in the show had their own spin-off. I don't know anything about it. I just know it's the neighbors, and occasionally they stop in, and they do like a crossover episode or scene or something. It's really interesting. I want to watch it, but I don't know how. There's an app called Yidio. It lets you look up. Actually, I can use Yidio to transition from Golden Girls to this next thing. There's an app called Yidio. I use it every single day. Maybe not every single day, but I use it all the time. And basically, you can look up pretty much any title and find out where you can stream it. So you don't have to manually search Netflix and Hulu and YouTube and everywhere else. You just type in the title name, and it'll list everywhere. Even if you just have to rent or buy it on Google Play or Amazon or Vudu or something like that. And it'll also tell you like specific, like sometimes with like Hulu you have to have like the Showtime add-on, and it'll say Hulu plus Showtime add-on. So that's actually a newer feature, because before it would just say Hulu, and I'd be like, oh yay, it's on Hulu, and I go look it up, and it'll say get the Showtime add-on, and I'm like, oh. But now they're good at telling you when you need to add on. And the way that is a transition is some of my favorite movies of all time are not so popular, so therefore I never see them streaming anywhere. And I do look on Yidio like once a year or so for these movies, and I never see them. Well, tonight I just watched 2 of my favorite movies I haven't seen in like 20 years. I didn't even realize until tonight that they came out the same year, within months of each other. The first one is actually considered one of the worst movies ever made, which I don't see how. It's a great movie. It's called Josie and the Pussycats. It's obviously based on the cartoon show Josie and the Pussycats, which were actually based on the comic from the Archie comics, Josie and the Pussycats. And they actually reference that in the movie. I never noticed that until tonight when I watched it. Oh, yeah. Wow. It was on HBO Max. I've been saying HBO Max is my favorite streaming service, and it keeps being reaffirmed all the time. Josie and the Pussycats is on HBO Max, and I watched it tonight. And there's a part where there's this girl named Alexandria, and they find her really annoying, and they're on the plane going to Hollywood, and they're like, "What are you doing here?" And she's like, "I'm here because I'm in the comic strip." And they're like, "What?" "Nothing." I never noticed that line before. Of course, I hadn't seen it in 20 years, so there's that. But like I said, I've seen it several times when I was little, when it came out, and I never noticed like the message of the movie. I just thought, oh, this is a funny movie. I like the music. There's a song called "Pretend to Be Nice." I have that song stuck in my head all the time. Oh, and they finally added that to Spotify recently. The Josie and the Pussycats soundtrack is now on there. Now, what I want them to add, I'll get to that. The message of the movie is actually It's actually a really good message. It's talking about like the media brainwashing people. They put a subliminal message in the music. It's like eat your Wheaties. Adidas is the best shoe. Josie and the Pussycats is the greatest band ever. And they put those messages underneath the song, so you're listening to the song and you're like, I want Wheaties. So, and that's like they find out about that and they put a stop to it, and it's a really good movie. I like it. And now they put the Josie and the Pussycats soundtrack on Spotify. And before I say this and get proved wrong, because I haven't looked in a while, I'm going to look for, well, first off, Josie and the Pussycats, make sure it's still on there. Josie and the Pussycats artist, and let's see. Yep, there it is. They only have the one album, right? Yep, Josie and the Pussycats, music from the motion picture. Alright, so let me look up the other thing I want to talk about this that was on HBO Max. Make sure that's on there. Rockstar. Nickelback. Okay, so there's another movie that came out the same year. Rockstar. It's got Mark Wahlberg and Jennifer Aniston and a bunch of other people. And it's not a true story, but like I heard that it's based on Judas Priest, which I don't know if that's true or not. I heard that years ago. And I can't see. Oh wait, artists, albums. Okay, look at albums. Okay, I'm not seeing the Rockstar soundtrack on Spotify. It doesn't help that there's like a million albums called Rockstar, including the most famous one by Nickelback. Oh look, Party Like a Rockstar. Yeah, I'm not gonna find it. If it's on here, I'm not gonna find it. So I'm just gonna assume that it's not on here. But anyway, it's one of my favorite movies. Also, it's about a rock star. It's really good. I don't remember what. I literally just watched it. I finished it before I started recording this, and there's actually another movie I want to watch now. I haven't seen it in forever. Okay, so Josie and Rockstar Josie's considered one of the worst movies ever, and every time I mention the movie Rockstar, the people that have seen it were like, "Oh, that movie's garbage." I'm like, I don't think so. But there's this third one. I found out it's also on HBO Max. I didn't watch it yet. I've seen it a million times, but I haven't seen it in like 10 plus years. And I found it's on HBO Max, and it's not considered one of the worst movies ever. In fact, it's considered one of the greatest, and for good reason. And the name of the movie is School of Rock. Yeah, it's got Jack Black and Miranda Cosgrove and I forgot her name. The principal, Joan Cusack. How did I forget her name? Yeah, I like Joan Cusack. She's funny, but yeah, that movie is perfect in every way. They perfectly cast it. Like the kids, like those kids actually knew how to play those instruments. It wasn't like they were pretending and then someone off stage was actually playing the guitar or the cello or whatever. And yeah, and I don't know if I heard some of them actually went on to form their own bands. At least I think the Zach guy, the guy that was on the guitar, he went on to start his own band. From what I heard, I don't really know. I think the most famous of the kid actors is Miranda Cosgrove. She went on to be in Drake and Josh, and then iCarly. And I don't know what she's doing now, but I haven't really heard much from her since iCarly ended. I like that show. But that one is on HBO Max, and I'm gonna watch it at some point. Alright, so I have one more thing on the list. And I was actually going to make this the topic I talk about because I was so excited when I saw it. I was so excited I was going to just do a whole episode on it on the spot. But I decided not to. I'm just going to do... I'm going to just add it and make it the last thing I talk about on here. So the Nintendo Direct. That's leading into what I was wanting to talk about. I will get to that. It starts off with introducing a new Smash character, which I love the way they did that. It made it sound like it was going to be a new entry in the Xenoblade Chronicles series. It's like, oh, they're going to do a new Xenoblade. And then it's I can't find her. Where did she go? And then finally, you see her, and it's like, where were you? Oh, sorry, I wasn't around. I got an invitation to Smash. I was like, oh, I see what this is. That was funny. I started laughing. I actually don't play Xenoblade. I recognize the characters because they're everywhere. It's like if I saw... I'm trying to think of a game that I would... There's a lot of games I don't play, but I recognize the characters because they're popular. Like, I recognize the Xenoblade. I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about Xenoblade Chronicles, but I recognize the characters. So, yeah. I don't play Smash. I rented it from GameFly when I first got the Switch, and I liked it. I didn't want to spend $60 on it. So, like, I got pretty far, and then my... the GameFly was expiring, and I had already had it for like 2 or 3 months. The GameFly, and I was like, I don't want to. There's not really a whole lot on the Switch I want to play, or I mean, there is, but there's not a lot I want to rent on GameFly. So I canceled the subscription and sent the game back. And then the first announcement after they did that was the cold opening, and then now I forget his name. Basically, he introduced the Nintendo Direct, and then he introduced now on to the next thing or whatever, and it's Fall Guys. As soon as it showed, I was like, Fall Guys is coming to Switch. Like, I want to play it. That was a PlayStation exclusive, and I got excited. I want some of the. They have way too many exclusives. Like, okay, Sony, we get it. Put some of your games on other systems. Like that, it's ridiculous. There's no reason why they can't put Horizon Zero Dawn on Xbox. They put it on PC, and I am so tempted to buy it on PC. But all the reviews that I see on the Steam page, and then like I've actually watched videos of people reviewing it. Apparently, it's like a generic version, kind of. It's like it's like, well, this isn't our system, so we're not going to put a lot of work into it. So it's like very poorly. It's a very bad port from what I hear. I don't want to buy it on Steam if it's not going to live up to the original version. I want to play Horizon Zero Dawn. It's one of my favorite games of all time. It's the first game I ever got platinum on. And then most of the games they announced, I didn't really care for. Some of them I do, like some of them I thought were really interesting. Like they got the, I think it was Capcom Arcade Stadium, which some of the games they showed, like the 1943, I don't really care about that one. But like I saw the logo on the. I actually didn't even care about it until I went on. I went in the eShop on my Switch, and if you look on the featured, pretty much all the top ones are the games that were mentioned, and the arcade stadium is on there, and the logo for it has a bunch of pictures. And so I was like, oh, so they're putting more than just a few. I might actually get that. It's free. The base game is free because it comes with 1943, and then Ghosts and Goblins comes free with it. So, wow. I feel like I've had something caught in my throat this whole time. Yeah. The very last game they talked about was Splatoon 3, which I'm excited about. I haven't played the first one 'cause I didn't have a Wii U, but I own these on Switch. I own Splatoon 2, and it's really I like it. I liked it a lot. I didn't play too far into it. I don't really have any friends that play it, so and every time I tried to play with others online, it wouldn't connect. So I haven't actually had a chance to play with others. I have done some of the story, and it was really interesting. Hang on, I'm getting a drink. Hopefully that helps. I don't know. But I think that they should have the game that I was most excited about seeing on there. The game that got me the most excited, I think should have been the last. It was second to last though. Splatoon 3 was it was a big announcement. No, I don't think anyone saw that coming. The game before it, there were rumors about. That's probably why they didn't save it for the end. Because there's probably going to be people that were like, well, we knew about that. I didn't. Okay, so last year was the Super Mario 35th anniversary. And this year is the Zelda 35th anniversary. So for the Mario 35th anniversary, they released the Mario 3D All-Stars. Super Mario 3D All-Stars was the three biggest 3D games. And there was rumors that they were going to do that with Zelda, like Zelda 3D Collection or something like that. And it would have Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, Majora's Mask, maybe all of them, maybe not all of them, maybe only 3 of them. We were partially right, at least for now. We don't know if because they took Super Mario World and re-released it on Switch. Which, by the way, I'm getting this week. I didn't realize it was out. I thought that game came out later next month in March. And then and then the Nintendo Direct, he was like, we released Super Mario 3D World last week. And I was like, wait, what? So I looked it up. Yeah, it's been out. It's been out since the 12th. Like, what the heck? How did I miss that? So I am definitely buying that next time I get paid. But that one that's technically a 3D Mario game. It's not. I didn't consider it a 3D Mario game because it's not. There's Super Mario 64, Mario Galaxy, Mario Sunshine, Galaxy 2, Odyssey. Those are what I consider to be Mario 3D games. And so Super Mario 3D World, it's technically a 3D world, a 3D Mario. I never considered it, but apparently it's considered one. And the fans were disappointed that it wasn't on there. But then they released a standalone game with that's technically a standalone game. So many technicalities. So that's what I'm thinking that they're doing with Skyward Sword. They're making that as a standalone HD port. And they're going to do the other games as a collection. That's my guess. Because with the Mario, they did that as a Nintendo Direct specifically for the Mario 35th anniversary. I think they might do that with Zelda. They'll have its own separate Direct, and then they'll announce we have a 3D Zelda collection, whatever they're going to call it, and it's going to have Ocarina, Wind Waker, and Twilight Princess. Maybe. Okay, so in the Mario 3D All-Star, they left out Galaxy 2, and people were upset. So I'm thinking they're going to do something similar, and the Zelda All-Stars, Zelda 3D collection, they're probably going to leave out Majora's Mask. Because I think the reason they left out Galaxy is because it's a sequel to Galaxy, and they basically wanted one game from each era. And Majora's Mask it's literally a direct sequel to Ocarina. It uses the same engine and all the items from the game, like oh, I forget the name. The properties from Ocarina of Time. They reused it in Majora's Mask. It's basically, it's practically the same game, just not the same game in any way, shape, or form. Just built with the same parts. So it's technically, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So if they do a Zelda 3D collection, I think they're gonna do Ocarina, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess. That's what I want to see. Part of me thinks they're not going to do Ocarina and Wind Waker because they did the remake, the 3D remake on 3DS, but that's handheld. I want to play it on Switch, which granted can be handheld, but I want it on here. And then the Wind Waker, that one was amazing. I played and beat it on GameCube. And I want it on here. I didn't get it to play it on the Wii U. I had a friend that had the Wii U, and he let me play it a little bit. I played it like half an hour, just ran it around, and I was like, this is so awesome. But I didn't actually do anything, like any quests or anything. I literally just ran around that first island. It was still fun. I want to play that. If they do the Zelda 3D collection and they put Wind Waker on, and I hope they put the HD version and not the original GameCube version. And same with Twilight Princess. They did the Twilight Princess HD, and if they put that in the collection, I hope they use the HD version, not the original version. Which brings up the question, would they use the GameCube version or the mirrored Wii version? Because there's a difference. There's a big difference. I didn't know there was a difference until I played the Wii version, and someone's like, "You didn't play the real version." I'm like, what? And they said it's mirrored. Everything's flipped. Like, not just Link. I knew it was mirrored so that you can have the motion controls. I thought they meant Link was mirrored. I didn't know the entire game was mirrored. It's like a whole new game, basically, because everything on the map is flipped and the screen is flipped, and everything that was on the right is now on the left, and so what I was wanting to do, if they do, I just thought of something. If they do this collection, they should have two modes. They should have one version be the main version be the GameCube version, because that's the original, and then the other version be the mirrored version. Or maybe that could be New Game Plus or something, where you beat it one way, now play it again mirrored as a hard mode. You have all these paths and everything memorized. Now play it again mirrored. Make it hard for yourself. That would be so cool. See, I considered doing that because I played and beat it on the Wii, and then someone told me that it was flipped on the GameCube. I had a GameCube at the time, and I was wanting to it was my neighbor I didn't have it at the time. I wanted to get a GameCube. That's what I was planning on getting. I think, oh crap, what was it? The Wii played GameCube games. That's what it was, because I was like, I could get the GameCube version and play it in hard mode because it's mirrored. I ended up not doing that, but I want to. That would be so fun. I'm really excited about the so when he came on, I forgot how to pronounce his name. That he was the director of the Zelda games. I forget I know his name. I can picture it, but I can't pronounce it. But you know who I mean. The screen changed to him, and I'm like, Zelda 2, and he goes, if you think that most of you see me and think I'm going to talk about Breath of the Wild 2. I was like, yeah. And he goes, we don't have any news, but we are working on it. I was like, oh, well, what are you here for? And then he's like, we got a game to show you. We have a new Zelda game to talk about. And then I saw the sky, and right then, all I saw was the sky, and I knew, and I got really excited. And then when the music started, the Ballad of the Goddess, I literally got emotional when the Ballad of the Goddess song started. And that is one I will definitely be pre-ordering, because I know a lot of people didn't like Skyward Sword. I actually really liked it. I wish it was more open world. It's kind of linear. I don't like how the Zelda games became more and more linear, and it got a little annoying. But they were still fun. I still love them. Yeah, that I got really excited. I will say this though. I am glad that with Breath of the Wild they went back to the the roots of the series, where it's a fully open world. You can do whatever you want, how you want. For the most part, there are some things. There's a little bit of limitation in Breath of the Wild, but not a whole lot. You can pretty much do whatever you want to do, which is nice. So I am excited about Skyward Sword. One thing I'm kind of afraid of is the with. No, actually, I don't think that would be an issue. Okay, so when when Assassin's Creed Origins and Odyssey came out, a lot of fans were upset that it wasn't the same as the old games. It was new. It wasn't Assassin's Creed anymore. I love them. I actually like them better than some of the older games. But then a lot of fans were like, "This isn't Assassin's Creed. They ruined the series." So one of the things with Assassin's Creed Odyssey in the Season Pass, you get the Assassin's Creed 3 remastered for free when they released it. And I got it. I downloaded it and I played it. And so, after playing it a while, I was like, I see what they mean. It's technically not the same game series. Like Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla are completely different. I will say this, they are Assassin's Creed games because they're called Assassin's Creed games, and they follow the same story. They're in the same universe. The Assassins and the Templars and Abstergo and all that. And maybe they may not be called the Templars, and they may not be called Assassins, but that's what they are. This is like a origin story trilogy for the Assassins and the Templars. And so it's still that. However, gameplay-wise, they're not the same. Both are amazing. I love the old games. I think Black Flag is probably my favorite pre-Origin Assassin's Creed. Followed closely by Assassin's Creed 3. My first Assassin's Creed was Brotherhood. And so that's what introduced me to it. My favorite of the new Assassin's Creed is Odyssey. Valhalla is really good, but I don't know. It's hard to explain. They changed some of the things I like about it, and I don't know. It's still good. It's not Odyssey. And something I don't like that people seem to think is if the sequel or follow-up isn't better than the one before, then it sucks. No, Valhalla is still good. It's just not Odyssey. I personally prefer Odyssey. Like, Black Flag is my favorite pre-Origin Assassin's Creed. That doesn't mean that Rogue, Unity, and Syndicate are horrible games. It just means I prefer Black Flag. I really like all of them. There's not an Assassin's Creed game that I don't like. It's just I have favorites. I said the Zelda thing would be my last thing to talk about, and now I've talked about something else. And that's me checking off everything on the list, and it's almost been an hour. I'm gonna keep talking until it's past the hour mark, because it's my podcast and I can do that. Oh, here's something I should have talked about earlier. How do you call it? Follow, support, subscribe. A few podcasts on Patreon, and some of them have, thing like we're gonna send you something for subscribing or whatever, and I never have actually gotten anything from any of the podcasts, and I got something in the mail the other day and I was confused. I was like, oh yeah, that's right, I follow them on Patreon. And I follow the one I'm talking about now is Nopeville. I follow them. I think I did the highest tier. I got I don't think it was the highest tier. I don't remember which tier. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna look real fast because I don't want to be like, I'm giving them all my money, and then it'd be like, oh, I only did the 5-tier one. $5. I didn't think I did the $5 tier. My memberships, I do $15 founding member. Let's see. Edit pledge. I'm not actually going to edit pledge. Alright. Edit membership. Select a different tier. Alright. $2, $5, $10, $15, and $15. Wait, what? I did the there's veteran tourist $5 and then founding member $15, and I did that one. Alright, so that includes a lanyard, which I really like, and there was a couple stickers, and then my favorite thing in all of this, and I was actually showing it off to some of my neighbors, comes with this coin. I can't see in the dark. It says, I should probably use the light of my phone to see what this says. Founding member. Nope. And then it says on the other side, Nopeville established 2020. And then on the plastic cover thing that it came with, 5 of 48, so it's numbered. And this thing is heavy. It's got some weight to it, actually. It's a collectible. I'm gonna keep it in the thing. I'm not taking it out. But listen to this. That is heavy. So like, yeah. So like the reason I said that it was the first thing I got from a podcaster was my phone fell and I caught it. I subscribe to, I'm going to say follow, 3 podcasts on Patreon. And the other one one of the other ones I follow is one I talk about all the time on here is Reverie True Crime. She's by far my favorite. I talk about her all the time. She's a really good friend of mine. Like, yeah. I subscribed to her months ago, and she, it's kind of an awkward thing. She did send something, but it got lost in the mail. So, I feel weird about that. But she did a post, like, she did a tweet talking about, or something like, she asked, I don't remember, I'm not good at remembering things half the time. Either she tweeted about it or she private messaged me asking about the stuff I got. And I was like, I didn't get anything. And she's like, what? I sent it. Might have got lost in the mail. Because that happens. I don't actually receive mail here at the house. I have it sent to a friend. And at the time that she sent that, he was in the process of moving. So it's possible that it didn't actually arrive. Either arrived, I don't know if he did the change of address before or after he moved, but I never got it. And I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't get it. It's like, I believe her. I was telling another friend, like, she probably didn't even send it. Like, I'm pretty sure she did. She doesn't seem like the type that would make stuff like that up. So it ended up being Nopeville I got the first thing from. The third person I don't think sends anything. I also subscribe to Verbal Diorama. And I don't know if hers comes with mail. I am loading that. Edit. Change. Okay, $2, $5. I am. Wait, which one am I? I forget which one I am. Okay, I do the $10 one, which would be now this one. Wait. Does that come with anything? Oh, no, it does not. 20% off all merch, though. So, there's that. I mean, I kind of want to go through and be like, I can't really afford it right now. I want to, like, all of my favorite podcasts, I want to go through and subscribe to all of them on there, the ones that have a Patreon. Because I've noticed that not all of them have one. I have one, but I don't use it. I don't promote it. I have one tier. It's a $1 tier, and it gives you access to the Discord server. You're probably asking yourself, what Discord server? Exactly. I never use it, and at this point, there's probably like one person that subscribes to it, and then it's just them in the Discord server. So it's like, what's the point? I don't even think I have it on my link tree. Let me see. Let me look at my link tree, if it will load. Oh, I have to sign in. Can't connect. Maybe can't connect. Resubmit form. What? Okay, my internet won't connect. Okay, there we go. It is connected and it's loading. Resubmit form, yes. This is taking a while to load. It still won't load. Okay, fine. I'll look on my phone because I have my link tree in my on my profile on Twitter. Let's see if I have my Patreon on here. I do not. I do have my merch on here, my merch shop, which is Teepublic. And I've had one person buy something on there. It was Paige, because she told me. So okay. Probably gonna end this now. I'm gonna figure out why my internet won't work. So I need it to work so I can upload this. If you can hear this, I fixed my internet. It's not really it's internet, but it's my phone's hotspot. Everything I do, I hear. My computer, my Xbox, my Switch. It's all done through my phone's hotspot. Which actually, funny story. When I first got it, when I first got this phone, I didn't have hotspot before, and because I didn't have internet on my. I didn't have Wi-Fi or anything on my Xbox, and so the games I had are the games I was stuck with. And then I got this phone, I switched to T-Mobile, and I got hotspot. And so I was able to install like all the games I wanted to play. I have a 2 terabyte external hard drive with the 500 built in, so that's like 2.5 terabytes. So I just set up like a bunch of games to install, and then I went to work. And the whole time I'm thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna go home and have all these new games to play. Yeah. I got home and what? Installation stopped? What do you mean? Oh, that's right. The internet's on my phone, so I took my phone with me. It stopped the install. Oops. So that slowly installed, and yeah, but that was a funny story. It was a thing. But yeah, I will probably stop recording now. This is my. I'll probably do this more often, just random talking, especially if I can't think of a topic. I call on the tweet I did the other day. I called it the podcast version of writer's block, because I know there's some episodes I have planned. But I'm actually going to have to do some research. I can't just start recording and start talking. I'm going to have to actually research them. One of them is a 2-parter. So it's like one episode is one thing and the other is, you'll see. I'll say what like whenever I start recording those, I'll be like, hey, this is the one I was talking about. But for now, I'm just going to end this and try to fix the internet and get this all uploaded. This is not only is it unusual because I don't have a specific topic. I'm also doing it at an unusual time. Normally, I do my recording at like 11 p.m. to like 1 a.m. I know, very late at night. I'm doing. It's currently 8:03 a.m. on February the 18th. So I started recording at like just after 7. So, yeah, and the sun's out. I didn't even notice because I have the black curtains that block out the sun, so it still looks nighttime right now. That's why I said it was dark in my room. Sometimes I'll wake up and I'm like, oh, okay, it's still dark. I look at the time, and I'm like, oh, it's daytime. So, but anyway, I'm gonna stop recording this. Yeah. Bye.